Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to AriesEDC. I have an interesting one to show off today. This is the Berg Blades Mini Slim. Alright guys, I saw the opportunity to take a look at this knife in the pass around group, so I was able to get this in to take a look. Again, this is the Berg Blades Mini Slim. Really stinking cool chunk of a knife. Definitely you can see why I wanted to take a look at this. This is the shredded carbon fiber version. They also have the micarta version of this with the titanium clip, the titanium backspacer, and S90V blade steel. You have that nice belt satin finish, the nice hand sanded flats on it. You have this really aggressive jimping up here on the spine, and the opening hole that allows you to flick the knife open very well. It is a liner lock, which is very comfortable to do. You have plenty of access to the liner to be able to release that. And again, it's done very, very well. I think you have titanium liners. I would have to check that. One thing I did do on the unboxing was I found it interesting that the liner material on the show side, not the, well, let's see. Yeah, not the lock bar side, because the lock bar has the full titanium liner in there. And this does have a screw for the steel, where the lock insert is. So it does have that. Which you can see in there, right in there somewhere. But on the show side of the scale, if I flip it over, it is it's an interesting design. They're using mostly carbon fiber, and the steel insert starts around the pivot, and it kind of comes up to here, and then it stops, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, it like comes up and it stops right about in here. So really all this is just the carbon fiber, which allows for a very, very lightweight option. It is pretty comfortable in the hand. Obviously this is not a big knife. You're going to see some size comparisons here in a minute. But really pinch gripping this, you can get your finger all the way down on the tip. And really it's a 3-finger knife, comfortably 3 fingers. Your 4th finger can get around where the back of the blade is, or back of the handle is. You can get there, but this is just a small EDC sized little pocket knife that you can throw in your pocket and go. I've been 5th carrying pocketing this, or 5th pocket carrying this. And it is very comfortable. I've had this in my back pocket, my front pocket. I've had it in a lot of different situations, and it serves it well. It has that very unique blade shape. Now the blade shape itself is fine. It does have a tip, so you could get into those packages and everything else to puncture, but obviously it's not a super pointy tip. But it is a very interesting blade shape. The sound is awesome though. I mean, that sound. Yeah. So it is really stinking cool. It is running on ceramic bearings. The cutting edge is 2.3 inches. And I'm apologizing. My nose is completely stuffy right now, and I don't know why. It just happened. So you can see the size of this one. Excuse me, 2.3 inches, and overall is 5.6 inches. So you can see just a little over 5.5. Let's look at some really quick size comparisons. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to use that versus the Baby Banter. So that is very close to size. And I also have this. This is the CJRB mica. And again, it's just a tad bit bigger than both of these options. So I thought that would be an interesting size comparison for everybody. And then we could go back to our normal size comparisons. We have that versus the Rat 2. Obviously, Rat 2 is much longer and thinner in profile than the Berg Blades Mini Slim. And then you have the Civivi Elementum. Again, much longer and skinnier. And then finally, I don't really need to do this, but we're just going to throw it down just because. How about the Para 3? Yeah, you can tell. It's a very interesting knife. But the thing with the Berg Blades is they're small production runs, and this was 14 of 40. So they only made 40 of these, I guess, in the carbon fiber maybe? I'm not really sure. But how cool is that? And Berg Blades does a really good job. I've handled now 2 of their blades, and both of them were fantastic. I'm looking up the price right now on their website as this sits in my hand is $265. And as I'm filming this, they are available. So that is really, really cool. They do a lot of handmade knives as well, but I think this is more of the production run. I don't know if it lists who their OEM is. That would be pretty cool if I can figure that out. But I don't think they say it on the website. I don't see anything, but that thing is really, really cool. The weight of this one is only 2.65 ounces, which I can totally see. This thing is very lightweight with all the carbon fiber on it and the titanium, which also saves weight. And it's just a really stinking cool knife. A lot of people might not be into that blade shape, but there's something about this little chunk that I really, really like. The blade thickness is pretty thick. I wonder if they have that listed. Yeah, 1.42. So 1.42 blade thickness. So that's it. It's definitely a chunky little blade. But man, the Berg Blades Mini Slim, what do you guys think? I really, really like this. And I think actually I would choose the micarta version over the carbon fiber. I don't know. Something about that micarta version looks really cool. So anyway, guys, I hope you liked this quick review of the Berg Blades Mini Slim. What a cool little knife that looks like it's a chunk. It is a chunk. It's a little chunky blade. So anyway, guys, I hope you appreciate this one. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, or not. The choice is always yours.